Alright, morning. Timestamp is January 3rd, 2026. It's about 6:20. And I said about 6:20 because it actually says 6:19. See, I'm learning. About 6:20 a.m. I clearly have a Pooch concert going on behind me, so we're gonna go that way for a minute or five. Hi guys, what's on your mind? Oh, I see. Do you want to go outside? Is that what's going on here? Okay. Come on. I thought his head was going to explode. Not like in the scanners got away, but you know. It's in the high 50s, I think I saw. It feels 60-ish. It's nice. Oh, it'd be nice to have this clear to where it's not terrifying walking through the set of Sanford and Son. Yep. Get it out. Get it all out. It's supposed to be a full moon today or tomorrow. I didn't need. Not sure if I missed it or not. Definitely hear the traffic from the interstate starting to warm up. It's what, Saturday morning? Alright, you guys, I'm going back in. Just got up like 20 minutes ago. Here's Scrappy coming my way. If you still need to run around and have fun, do it, man. Ow, I'm gonna trip over things. It just seems like the thing to do. I'm going in. If you want to play more, go. Make up your mind. Uh-huh. Woke up to a fatal blue screen on my computer. It's definitely starting to have problems, which is not good. Because we do want to do complete rebuilds, but it's going to take time, and I can cash in some stuff for some resources to do it, but I'm trying to avoid that if I can. I don't know. I'm not going to ask what that wet spot on the floor is. I hope it's water, but who can say? Finishing off a pot of coffee that I made before I went to bed. Do some of the Cameron sea salt caramel. And it is wonderful. cleaned off my desk a lot yesterday. It was one of the many little bricks that I did. Health check. I am congested. My right nostril is a backed up freeway. A little bit of chest tightness, but I know that that's anxiety because I had that tingly tension in the back of my brain. Sort of not really a feeling of dread exactly, just that feeling like a phone call's coming that I don't necessarily want to answer, you know. After almost 3 years, your brain starts playing tricks on you too, but I know what I've seen from my dad over the past 2 months, and the decline is real. So there's no fix, there's no cure. There's just downward. Sucks. But I can't do anything to stop it, you know. It's weird because I accept it in the respect of I recognize what it is and the I can't change itness of the situation, you know. There is no cure for dementia, and my dad is pretty far gone. There's nothing I can do about it. Try and make sure he's comfortable and the closest thing to happy that we can come up with, right? Glad to say goodbye to 2025, but this particular storyline isn't done yet. I'm using one of my new mugs, and this is, I would say, a fairly new mug. Actually, it is and it isn't. I'd gotten that Marvin Six Flags one. I got a hold of this. Got it really cheap on eBay. It was like $10 with shipping included. It was like $5, you know, price and shipping. And I was like, you know what? I like that. It's kind of fun. The reason I say it's probably like new is the price sticker underneath, $5.99, Six Flags. It's still very much intact. I put it in the dishwasher, and it's showing a little bit of wear, but that tells me that, and it looks pristine. Like, I'm not seeing any chips or anything in the paint. If it was used, it was very carefully hand washed, and maybe only once or twice, maybe. But I honestly think it was purchased from the park, put in a cabinet, and never used. That's what I think, because that price sticker, and I've been doing collectibles for a while, that price sticker is, and I don't care, I would like the price sticker to, you know, wash off, fade away, but as an indicator, this never got used. So, it's not just new to me, I think it's pretty much a new mug, you know, which Not a big deal exactly, but kind of cool, you know. But yeah, I'm like, I really wish I'd been able to go to Six Flags as a kid, but I at least got a mug. I got two now. Yeah, it's fun. But you know, you're talking about Looney Tunes mixed with an amusement park, which I'm kind of passionate about amusement parks. So it's like, okay, that, you know, crossover wise, that's pretty good. Oh my god. It'd be like finding a Looney Tunes Star Trek parody mug, you know, with Bugs Bunny in like the gold uniform and the black collar kind of thing. You know, it has two things that I love all within it. It would make me happy. I'd be cool with that. Oh, we got in a bunch of stuff yesterday, including, um, this was kind of a bonus thing that we got, or that I got. So I'm not sharing this with my girl. She didn't care. She did ooh and ah and whatnot because she recognized it. She let me know, um, with her mom, not mom, but grandma, doing the doll shows and all that. She managed to, through flea markets and whatnot, she was doing the same stuff that I was doing, just on the other side of the bay. It's just funny as hell to me. Because she was in St. Pete, Clearwater, pretty much growing up. So she was grabbing up action figures and stuff like that at flea markets she was going to, just like I was over here. But she had pretty much the whole set, which I did not. I had Muffet. I had a Daggett. That was the only one from the series that I had. But this guy was kind of a bonus figure in one of the lots that I got. I actually cleaned him up a little bit. He's still a little dirty here and there, but he was nasty when I got him. He was kind of a bonus figure in that I didn't go out of my way to get. This is Commander Adama, the Lorne Green version from the 1978 television series Battlestar Galactica. Which brings me to the answer to the trivia question that I asked the other day, so to speak. It's what I actually was trying to get and succeeded in getting. What is the other one? There it is. A bunch of people had up a lot of two figures. It was like the same set of two figures frequently, and I was getting them for like 10 to 12 bucks total, which is cool, because from an army building standpoint, I was trying to get mostly these guys, which I know that was, you couldn't really tell what was going on there, but I will clarify. And they frequently had these guys with it, which this is the Imperious Leader. He's missing his robe, so he just looks like a weird, let's see one. They normally have, and it is the Imperious Leader. There's actually only one of this, I believe. It's been a long time, 1978, man. But in the show, it's just this guy pretty much running things. He's the Emperor, the Imperious Leader. He has normally like a kind of a reddish purple robe, so we don't see how like anorexic he is underneath. But I've got 3 of these now. I have 4 of these now. So from trying to like army build interesting creatures for dioramas and whatnot, that'll work quite well. Because this looks nothing like the Jackson family next door. There's something wrong with those people. They're not normal. But so I got like 4 different lots, and this helps me from an army building. Again, I don't need 20 of it, but 4, that's great, because I can populate a diorama with that, you know. But I also got four more, because I have one in the library. And I've got, I think I have another 3 or 4 already, maybe even more actually, at George, which should be coming soon. We're working on it. But these guys are an alien race that we meet in the original Battlestar Galactica called the Ovions. And I love the look of them, and most people won't. Most people, unless you're a Gen Xer that was into sci-fi, you're going to look at this and go, I have no idea what that is. It's got 4 arms. What is that? You know, time has made them a little bit more of an enigma. But my chairs came in. Do a sweep of that. These are and I can't believe I'm even promoting it just because how ugly I think the dolls are. These are the chairs from the LOL OMG line. And I guess it's most of the listings that just had this or that had a description of what was in the lot have called it a mansion chair. So I guess they had some kind of mansion playset, and these were some of the chairs that were in it. But I've got 3 currently. As you can see, scale-wise, they're pretty good. And I put up a couple of the Temu tables right next to it. And I got my read posters that I need. That's one of the things I'm going to be working on today. God bless the American Library Association. I think I have another 3 or 4 of those chairs on the way. In various lots and whatnot. Turn off the light for the moment. So I don't know that I'm going to use like all 6 or 7 in the library. That might make it a little too full. Like, yeah, I'm definitely congested. That'll make it almost as bad as like Leonardo Station, with the idea of having 150% of the furniture you need for a house. You know, I don't want to overdo it. But in the next incarnation of whatever, that gives me more matching chairs. So, because I'll probably have a library diorama set up most of the time, just because I have the books already for it, and it's just kind of a fun, versatile set piece where I can put, you know, just, you know, it's an intergalactic library, anybody can show up kind of thing. You know what I mean? It gives you a lot of versatility to play with. There were some other things that came with it. I'm not sure with one of the lots. A couple of lots were just like chairs and stuff like that I'm actually going to use. This, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Well, I know kind of what I'm going to do, and I will explain. So I've got a bed on the way that I mentioned that's kind of a raised bed, and it looks like it has some kind of stair flippy things on the side. And I will show you what I'm talking about, because I know that's a very strange description. And in the LOL OMG tradition, it's like a weird pink, because it's all pink. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And I might use that as my stage for the lounge, for like a karaoke stage. But I'm not sure how the stair flippy thing flips, because that might actually make it more difficult to work with than easier. I don't know. If it in fact is going to be more difficult, then I will do something to these guys. Because these, I'm guessing, are supposed to be beds or couches. And it's kind of a match set, as you can see. You know, you can do whatever you need to with them to create that geometric shape kind of thing going on in the background. It's kind of interesting. That part's kind of interesting. I dig that. And I wasn't sure by the pictures I could tell that this was raised. This purplish thing on the blue, I could tell it was kind of raised, but I wasn't sure what it was. It's furry. It is a cloth textury thing, which, okay, twofold. One, no. Because I don't want to have to clean this. This is going to get stupid quick. But also just from it does seem to be pretty flush, but from a standard of being able to stand characters on it, I mean, that was probably just me not holding it perfectly steady. I don't like my chances, is what I'm getting at. But it does look like it is probably glued down onto the dark blue platform. If you're picking up what I'm about to peel off. So, I don't want to do anything to this yet. I'm going to wait and see when the pink bed with the flippy stair things gets here. If it's workable, great. I sell these as is. They're undamaged. If it is not workable, I'll sell the flippy bed. Let's call it that for now, though. And I may peel up this fabric stuff. And then I have a couple of rather, and height-wise it's not too bad. You know what I mean? That's an acceptable, because I can put a step or something on the sides. That's an acceptable height for a karaoke stage. From a scale standpoint, that works. And I can do one or both, depending on the width of my set. Because that's not a bad, if this were gone, this fabric-y stuff, and it were painted a different color, whatnot, to where it was all flush with each other, that's not a bad little, I ran a black box theater, so I know about small stages. That's not a bad karaoke stage to work with. That's functional. So, and I'm actually leaning that way, because in my gut, I'm thinking that the flippy bed is actually going to be a titanic pain in the ass to work with, I think. But I'll know when it gets here. Because maybe it'll be perfect. And maybe I'm going to want to pull my hair out just 10 minutes into trying to manipulate it. So, I wasn't sure how this was going to play out. I really thought this was molded that way, and that was just painted differently on top. I'm actually pretty glad that it's fabric, because if it was all one piece molded, I'm not adjusting anything, you know what I mean? But I can absolutely peel that. Hit it with some Goo Gone, because there will probably be adhesive hanging on, and then prime it, paint it, whatever I choose to do. You are LOL, right? MGA Entertainment 2020. Yeah, the company MGA is the company that makes LOL, OMG. You learn these things when you're doing it. But yeah, no, this would actually make a rather interesting karaoke stage. I'm honestly feeling pretty good about that, but I do want to wait and see what the flippy bed looks like before I start stripping this off and actually manipulating it, because if it is going to work out great, then I want these as close to good shape as possible so that I can resell them, you know what I mean? Honestly, I may wind up keeping them anyway, just because they are pretty versatile once I get rid of that. Still figuring it out. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. And I did get a disco ball in that lot too, which I am absolutely going to put in the lounge. but I'm not sure how. Not yet, anyway. Yeet. So, it's awful, which makes it spectacular. And it's even blue. I'm doing blue as a base color for the lounge, so that's fantastic. It's more of a teal, but it's in the blue family, so it works. But yeah, that was in with a lot. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so good. Oh, it's so bad, it's good. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I'm not sure I'm going to mount it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I am aware that I am very clever, so I will figure it out. But I'm not sure what I'm doing with it yet. But yeah, it's marvelous. The ridiculous factor makes it just hell to the yeah. Yeah. I can't explain how happy I was with that. I was just like, oh my god, I just go ball and it's blue. I'm totally aware that it's ridiculous, but that's part of the point. It's just, yeah, it's great. But yeah, today's Saturday. I'm gonna be got a blue disco ball. Yes. Everybody had that on their Christmas list. I'm well aware of that. I'm sorry. I'm the one that got it. It's like that white elephant. I know. Sorry. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get about 20 eBays up today. I'm gonna be cleaning the guest bathroom. We've got a lot of the debris out of there, so I can actually clean the bathroom itself. I'm gonna be cooking a ham. I've had a good-sized ham that I got on clearance at Aldi in the fridge defrosting for the past day and a half. I think it's still a little icy because that fridge is really good. But we'll do some honey based on there and cook that up. Dishes, laundry. I'm actually going to try and doctor up one of the MREs that's here too. I want to start testing some of that my parents got. They're like mid-grade. They're not like the good MREs, but they're also not the terrifying ones. But they also didn't store them properly. So we've been kind of testing some MREs here and there to see if they're any good or if they're spoiled or whatnot. And it's been kind of a challenge for Tiny and I to see what we can do to doctor up some of the different MREs that are around here. Because we've got several cases, like MREs we could feed, if they're still good, we could feed ourselves, Tiny and I, for probably a year. My parents were planning hard for an apocalypse that I don't think is going to come. But they were watching various news broadcasts and whatnot that had them buying into fear and propaganda and bullshit. Come on, let him in. You guys have fun? See, you don't need me. You don't leave me out there. Oh, come on. We'll get some. I think we have bacon now. I think we have bacon cookies. Yep, bacon cookies. Oh my god. Yes, I understand. I'm working on it. This isn't me teasing you. This is me working on it. Apologize to anybody with headphones. I want to give you a big old piece. There you go. Heard me munching on that for a minute. Because you guys did great going out there by yourself. Gotta get them in the habit of just being able to run and go. I mean, I want them to follow commands, but if I have to watch you on the playground so that you can go pee, we've got attachment issues. You're gonna be okay. Calm down. It's like I go to check the mail and he'll lunge at the door and bark the whole time that I'm outside. It's like, dude, I'm checking the mail. Exactly. That's what his head does. But yeah, there was some apocalypse planning and all that. And yeah, I think I mentioned this once before, but my mom had bought into, it was a Newsmax story, where the Democrats were working with, hey, Scrappy, you let him eat his cookie. Always watching. But yeah, the Democrats and Nicole Kidman were working on a plot to take away beef from the world at large, and we're going to make everyone eat bugs. And I know some of you are probably like, what kind of Outer Limits horse shit is that? It was a real story done by Newsmax, which was not a real story because it was all based on bullshit. But my mom saw it and latched onto it and was concerned because Nicole Kidman was going to make her eat bugs. That's how it was presented to me. And what are you talking about? And then she gave me another sentence or two and then was like, never mind, you wouldn't believe me. And I'm like, you're right, because it sounds stupid. So about when we got home, about 3 keystrokes later, and with like 2 minutes searching, Pix found an article talking about the 3 or 4 different news articles that Newsmax took, put in a blender, and created that particular hit piece with. Because Nicole Kidman apparently was working with some kind of a biofarm that was working on like mealworms and things like that as a protein source. But there was no, we're going to take over the world's food supply and force everyone to eat crickets and mealworms. It's a scientific study to try and create like a base protein. And Nicole Kidman is a fairly green, environmentally conscious person, so she was kind of being almost a spokesperson. I forget the details exactly, but it was like they took a couple of different tidbits that were facts, smushed them together, and made a scary story. And my mom believed it. Hence, a year's worth of MREs not stored correctly, and other things. That's the nicer thing I can talk about. And of course my dad had they're coming for my guns, which, towards the end there, yeah, we were coming for your guns, but that's because you were in mid-stage dementia and you were seeing people, that weren't there. We were afraid that you might shoot people that were there because you didn't know why they were there, or you would think they were other people, because you're lacking clarity right now. Because if you're actually discussing things with us freely, you're going to tell us all about a man in a trench coat that has a dark car that pulls in the driveway. He runs in the house, steals things, and then runs back out the front door, and you can never catch him. Or you'll tell us about the 2 teenage girls that hide in the living room, or the little girl that hangs out in Mom's office and throws papers everywhere. And Sandy wouldn't like it because she doesn't like people messing with her paperwork. I can go on. I actually counted up the other day, and there's 14 people that are here that are not here. And that's if I count the group in the kitchen because he said there's a group of people, and I'm counting that as 3 people. So I've got 11, not named, but I've got 11 I can describe to you hallucination people that are here, and then 3 plus that hang out in the kitchen, drink coffee, stand around, and whisper to themselves while they stare at my dad. Which, that's kind of paranoid creepy right there. If you've got a group of people that just stand 10 feet away from you and like murmur and whisper to each other while staring at you, that's M. Night Shyamalan kind of creepy going on here. But if I count that group of people as 3, because group, it's probably 3 or more, right? Then there are 14 people that he saw on the regular. Not counting cameos. That's 14 people that don't exist, that I know of, that also live here. Why don't we want you to have guns again? I knew it was something. It'll come to me. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know. The doc said that he's not hallucinating anymore because of some of the medication he's on. But I know the past 3 times that we've been to visit him, he has stated that people keep going into his bags and removing things. People keep stealing his stuff. His bags are like full, like puffy full. But according to him, people keep stealing stuff from him. So you understand the idea of, if you have a full bag, what did they take? You understand where I'm coming from a logical standpoint of, if your bags are full, all 3 of them, how is anyone taking anything from you? Because wouldn't one of those bags be getting smaller? You're not necessarily gaining new stuff, so it's not like you keep filling it to, replace what was taken. Does that make sense? But according to him, people keep going through his stuff and stealing things. So I don't know if he's still seeing people, but there is still the paranoia side of he's being stolen from, persecuted. I expect that'll be a factor until his brain or body can't sustain it anymore, I expect. So yeah, I'm gonna get a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol and try and get some of the cracks and crevices, like in his like eye socket area. There's still a lot of gunk. I couldn't quite get in there. I was using green scrubby very, 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 very lightly, just to try and get in some nooks and crannies, and I got a lot of it. But yeah, like even along the neckline, it's just like caked on gunk. So I don't know what I'm doing with him yet. Like I said, it was he came with an Ovion and a leader, and it was just kind of a, oi, knock it off, you two. Just kind of a, like almost a bonus figure. Didn't cost me anything extra. It was just, instead of a lot with 2 characters in it, it had the 3, and I'm like, okay, I'll get like a free Adama out of this based on the price point in my head that I'm working with. Cool. Never had one of you. Always wanted one, never got one. But yeah, Pix was like, oh, I had Adama, I had Starbuck, it was like, by the time she got done with the list, I'm like, baby, you pretty much had the whole set. You pretty much had the whole set. I did not. So, number one, show off. Uh, that's cool. There were a lot of things I had that she didn't, so. Yeah, considering how long it was ago, I'm willing to bet they're gone now, but a couple, and I know I mentioned these guys once before. A couple of guys that were at the flea market Funland that I grew up going to, they were there when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13. They were there for years. I don't even know their names. But they looked like, you know, the fourth and fifth members of ZZ Top. Minor 49er kind of look going on. And they always had like 3 or 4 convention tables, you know, the plastic fold tables. Like 3 of them, probably one big row, and half of one of those tables would always be like loose action figures and ships and play sets and stuff like that. I loved those guys. And they'd have the action figures, you know, just stuff like this. A dirty Adama, like in the box, you know, with like 30 other figures, whatnot. Star Wars figures, Fisher Price Adventure People, BSG, you know, figure. This was in the early 80s, so anything from that time earlier, you know, might have some G.I. Joes, whatnot. And they typically sold them like, I want to say it was like 25 cents. 5 for $1, I think was their gig. I got a lot of stormtroopers from them. A lot of stormtroopers and some Hoth troopers and whatnot. Just because it was like, you know, I can get 5 for $1. They don't have their guns or anything, but this is great. Those guys made a big difference in my life as a kid, man. I love them. Beat up land speeder for $2. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll take that. It's missing the windshield and it's got a bunch of scratches on it, but that's okay. It's battle damaged, you know. Oh, I miss a good flea market. Pix and I were talking about it yesterday. But it is approximately 7:01. Kidding, it's 7:01. I'm going to start getting on with it. I might fry up some eggs. I've had yogurt the past like 4 mornings, which is good. The antioxidants in the blackberries are good for me. But I might change it up this morning and do a high protein egg thing. Yeah, that could happen. Alright. eBay ho. Hug your parents, hug your kids. 7:02 now. Make it a great day.